Everybody. We are so glad that you're here. We have a great speaker tonight, McKenzie Bauer, co-founder of Thread Wallets. And I think this is a demographic that McKenzie that totally appreciates what you produced and the company that you're running. I'm going to have Emily McCormick introduce McKenzie Bauer, and then I'm going to just take 2 seconds to talk about these amazing events that we have coming up, hopefully really close to you, because we would love to see you come out to them. So go ahead, Emily, and then I will jump back to this and we'll get started.
Okay, hi everyone. It's so good to see you all tonight. This is like my favorite group because working with the youth is the bomb. And my kids tell me that's not cool to say anymore, but I'm still using it. We are so excited to see you. And I apologize. I am in my car, caught in a snowstorm. I left where I was coming home like it should have been a 10-minute drive and it's taken 35. So I am here and I'm super excited for tonight because you're going to be glad you joined. This is a rock star that we have with us tonight. McKenzie Bauer is a good friend of mine. She has been an example and leader to me, although she is younger than me, but she has done so many incredible things in her life that I am inspired by and that I am excited for her to share with you tonight. I know we talked about her being the co-founder of Thread Wallets, which she started with her husband. And you know this brand, they made the very popular elasticized wallets that you can like wear around your neck, and all of the teenagers have them. They are so cool. They're amazing, very functional. And she spread into bags and all kinds of other things. But the thing that I have to say, and I admire her and love her for that, but the thing that I am so impressed by is her ability to get into spaces and get things done. So she developed a group for women in business and created this something that's become a very popular kind of speaker series around women in Utah who are in business. And she saw a need there, she jumped in and she got it done. So not only can we take a page out of McKenzie's book on starting a company and being a successfully run woman-owned company, but also in just being involved in the community and not being afraid to use your voice for good. She doesn't steer clear of the hard topics because they're hard. She dives in and she talks about them. And so it is our great privilege to have McKenzie tonight.
Yay. We are so thrilled. Okay, really quickly, we are touring all over Utah and we want you to know first. Hopefully you read your newsletter. It's in there. January 18th, we're going to be up in Logan. If you are anywhere near that area, we want to see you at 7 p.m. at Ridgeline High School. And then Southern Utah, we are coming down and we'll be there January 24th, 7 p.m. Location is almost secured. And then is it February 2nd? We're at Salt Lake event. Okay. February 2nd, put it in your calendars. We want to see you. We're having our teen center kickoff in Salt Lake City, and it's going to be amazing. You'll recognize the party, the education, the service, writing our legislators. It's all going to be there, and we are so excited to see you. So come on out, and I'll turn the time over to McKenzie.
Yay, this is so fun. I'm so excited. And before we started this call, I was up feeding my baby and almost forgot. So I'm so glad that my dad, who lives with us, reminded me that I have this call so that I can be here. And I'm actually really excited because I posted about this on my social media and I saw that one of my best friends from high school, we go way back, is on the call listening in on as well. And it's funny because before I even knew she was hopping on the call, I am going to feature her in what I want to talk about with you guys today. So Shelby, if you're on, buckle up. You get a little shout out in here. Okay, I'm really terrible with technology. Surprisingly, I should be better at this. So I'm going to just pull up a window, because usually when I do these types of speaking engagements, I really focus on our story as a company and my husband and I founding this company together and the journey that brought us to where we are today. But I wanted to go even farther back to when I was in high school, because that's where a lot of you guys are right now in your journeys. And so I'm going to pull up a picture of me in high school. And what I want to call out is, while I was like running around BYU's campus, pulling pranks on people and dressing up goofy with my girlfriends, you guys are like spending your nights on calls like this and wanting to drive change in your communities. So I think that's just the coolest thing ever. Okay, so let me pull this up and you guys can tell me if you see this picture of me.
Oh, we see it.
You see it? Okay, there I am, blonde hair. There's my best friend Shelby, who's on this call, in the middle, and my other friend Maggie. And what I kind of wanted to, so you guys have that picture. I'm going to stop sharing now because I'm coming back to me, the 30-year-old McKenzie. But what I wanted to focus on is just, as you grow in your journeys from being a high school student to going to college to graduating college to whatever your career path is, I wanted to focus on this idea of change and being adaptable. And I think that ability to be adaptable makes people a really great leader. And not saying that I have everything figured out, but I think that my story that I'm going to show you of like the changes that I've gone through, hopefully will kind of inspire you guys to just really look forward to what is ahead of you all, because you might, like, I remember in high school thinking that I had everything figured out. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, what I wanted to study, where I wanted to go. And my life has taken me a completely different route. So with that, I'm going to show you a few other pictures. This, for those of you who haven't heard my story before, I graduated. I went to Timpview High School just down here in Provo. And then as soon as I graduated, I went out to BYU Hawaii. So this was 2010, and I graduated with a degree in international cultural studies and an emphasis in peace building. So I minored in political science. So this is a picture of me with a friend of mine, Lauren. Can you guys see that? So this is a picture of me and my friend Lauren on graduation day. We've got the leis on. I graduated with a degree, like I said, in international cultural studies, and my emphasis was in peace building, so conflict resolution, mediation, and then I minored in political science. So at that time, I really thought that I was going to go to law school and get a law degree, perhaps tack on a master's in conflict resolution. And then as life would have it, I graduated and within a few short months met my husband, Colby. So we started dating in the winter months of 2014. So now just throw it back to baby McKenzie and baby Colby, 22 years old, just sitting on the rocks at Lake Powell, taking our engagement photos. Let me pull this up. So that's us. Can you guys see that, hopefully?
Yes.
I like to think that we did the whole Red Rock Desert Lake Powell thing before anyone else did on Instagram, but I don't think that's really true. So anyway, Colby and I met, and we obviously started dating, fell in love. But at the same time that we met, we had this idea to start a business together. My husband had lost his wallet in the ocean, surprisingly, when he was out at BYU Hawaii, and he wanted to find a new wallet. And all he could find was like boring, bulky, bland wallets online, and he wanted something really simple. So he grabbed a rubber band and he called that good. And then at the same time we started dating, and we joked that he used me for my sewing machine because I had a sewing machine, and he was like, I need someone to help me sew this project that I'm working on. So together we put our minds together, and we began developing out these products. And that was in 2014. And right after we got married, we moved back out to BYU Hawaii together, and we started selling these products at farmers markets and stuff. So I'm going to show you another picture of that. Sorry, I keep sharing my screen and then, oops, hold on, bouncing out. Just one sec. So this was us like at a little pop-up that we did just on the corner outside of BYU Hawaii, if you've ever been to the campus. And this is me in those great sublimated, like beachy leggings, just horrible. But that was the thing. That was the thing in 2014. So we started selling these wallets and they started doing all right. And we were like, oh, let's just kind of push it. It'll be fun. We sat down in our little TVA, it's Temple View housing, little apartment. And we were like, if we can sell like 5 to 10 wallets a day, we could probably make this work for us. And we still didn't really know what direction we wanted to take our life. Colby had the opportunity to take over his dad's financial planning firm. He had some opportunities to play professional soccer. And I was kind of like, well, I'm married now. We have this idea together. I really liked the marketing aspect of it. I also had this opportunity that I was teaching online classes at BYU Hawaii as an adjunct professor. So we were kind of like trying to figure out amidst all these different things. And at the very end of Colby's like last semester, we were like, if there's ever any time for us to go after something and chase our own dream, build our own future, it's right now. We don't have a mortgage. We don't have a car payment. We moved in with my parents. So like our life was really simple. So we decided to pursue this idea of these little slim minimalist wallets, which I remember Colby actually thinking it was quite silly. He was like, why do people like these? These are so dumb. But people did. So this picture that I'm going to show you next is a picture of me and my husband and some friends in the living room of my parents' house back in 2015, early 2015, putting together and shipping wallets out of my parents' house. So we printed them. You can see the paper over on the piano bench. The process that we use is a process called sublimation. So we printed them, we heat pressed them onto the elastic, we sent them off to some seamstresses that we contracted. We'd get the wallets back. We had to individually put the key rings on, stick them in the wallet, which in the left-hand corner, you can see like the box of envelopes. So this was wild. Like, as you can see, there's quite a few wallets. So we did a Kickstarter campaign. If you know what Kickstarter is, it's a crowdfunding platform so that other people can go in and back your idea. So this was completely different than what I'd ever imagined. If you go back to that picture that I showed you when I was in high school, I was really interested in psychology. I did an internship at a local elementary school with the special needs kids. So I thought that maybe I would go into special education. And then when I was in college, I changed my major to international cultural studies. And then in that picture I just showed you, I'm at the beginning phases of starting a business with my husband. So many crazy things that life just threw at me, and dynamics completely changed. Now here we are in 2023. We've been in business for 8 years, and there have been so many changes since then. We've moved into 3 different buildings. We just purchased a new building. We're developing out a nonprofit that we're calling the Carry On Foundation, that is piggybacks off our mantra at Thread, which is to carry on and to help people carry on. So as I thought about what I wanted to say to you guys, and I looked back on my life and the people that I admired in their journeys and the people that I looked up to, and what I hope to emulate, or an example that I hope to set for other young women, is to be adaptable and to learn how to pivot when different things are calling you, whether it's you feel like your soul being tugged one way, or your education, you want to go here, or whatever it is, that like you have so many amazing opportunities in front of you, and you're just getting started. And I think that's like the most incredible thing about the point of life that you're at, is you get to build out your destiny. And it's so cool that you guys are in this position where you're putting yourself out there, you're serving your community, you're getting involved, you're wanting to create change, because you will be miles ahead of where I am now, because you're in meetings like this, not, like I said, driving around Provo, Utah, getting Frosties at Wendy's and yelling and at random college boys on BYU's campus. And I don't know if I like have much more to say than that. But what I'd really love to do is open it up to any questions that you guys have about your futures, the careers that you want to take, how we had the ideas for Thread, whatever it is. I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask the questions that will be meaningful for you. I feel like whenever I speak, I focus on the business aspect of it. And I know that not all of you might not want to start your own business. Maybe you do, but I want that to open that up to you. So I'm really glad that Jane prefaced that we could have a Q&A portion. So does anyone have any questions?
Do you want to give them an idea of where you started and how much you've grown? And we have a question too.
Yes, absolutely. I'll give you guys a little bit of that background. So when my husband and I started, like I said, we sat on our little apartment floor and we were like, if we can sell 5 to 10 wallets a day, we could probably make anywhere from like $50,000 to $60,000 a year, which would be more than enough to cover our basic needs at that time in our lives. Our first year of business, we did around $130,000 in sales, which was really cool because it was pretty much just the two of us. And we just closed out 2022 with over $20 million in sales. So really, yeah, it's been really, really cool. And all of that, when we started, it was my husband and I, but we have brought on an incredible team. And I think that's a great call out, is that as you go through your life and you're walking down these paths, whatever it may be, like my friend Shelby, who's on the call that I showed you that picture of, has been instrumental in building and helping me get to where I am today. And now today we have our team that is helping us get us to where we want to go with our business. And so wherever you're going, whatever you decide to pursue in your life, make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who help you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish.
Thank you. That's amazing. Okay, I saw Perry. One of the Perrys had their hands. There you go.
I was just wondering, like, were there any like times that like you thought it was like super hard, or you hit like a roadblock? And like, if so, how did you like work through that?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question.
Great question.
So let me tell you that working with your spouse presents lots of roadblocks. And it can be really hard sometimes. We butt heads. Both my husband and I are really strong, independent, very stubborn individuals. And so that presents a lot of problems in and of itself, a dynamic that we have had to grow and learn from. But roadblocks specifically related to our business, when we first started, I showed you that picture of us doing the printing, the sewing, the pressing, the packaging, all of that. That was a huge setback. When you're starting a business, you are wearing so many different hats. We were doing the email marketing, the posting on Instagram, the production, the late night calls with China, the trying to hire people, building out a better supply chain, like all of those things my husband and I were working on, networking, you name it, we were doing it. And that was a huge roadblock. So something that my husband and I learned early on, after about 2 years in business, I was pregnant with our first child, and I should show you a picture of my family, because that's the most important thing. But we decided that we need to focus on what we do best and then hire out the rest. And so we really leaned into our own strengths and focused on the assets that we brought to the table. Like I told you, I studied international cultural studies. And although that wasn't a marketing major, I think the reason I gravitated towards that major in college was because I love the storytelling and the narratives and the communication that you try to build between different parties. And marketing is the exact same thing. You're trying to sell a product through creating a narrative and building a community and bringing people together on a unified idea. So once we both got into our own lanes and figured out where our strengths were and where we wanted to focus, we were able to overcome a lot of those roadblocks. But that was really hard. And there still are challenges. There's challenges now as we grow. Like I mentioned, we are launching a nonprofit, and it's hard to sometimes know how involved we want Thread to be tied to that, how we've fundraised for it. There's been a lot of interesting conversations about that, but those are just a few roadblocks that I can think of right off the top of my head. Does that answer your question? Awesome. And what was your name? I just see C. Perry.
I'm Charlotte.
Charlotte, so nice to meet you. Thanks for the question.
Nice to meet you too.
Does anyone else have a question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I was wondering, how did you find like mentors to help guide you like through while you were growing your business?
I love that question because honestly, I think you guys are in the best place for mentorship. Utah is amazing, and you have incredible opportunities like the one right now to be on a call like this, and you have these incredible women who have established this network for you. So I would just honestly lean into those opportunities, whether it's at school, getting involved in clubs or extracurricular things with coaches or teachers that you really gravitate towards. Like, really put yourself in those positions where you can learn from other people, and never be afraid to reach out and put yourself in those positions, because it can be paralyzing to think of someone telling you no. And I've been told no, which is actually, I've never told Kristen Andrus this story. And if she's on this call, I saw her pop in. So probably like 5 years ago, I came across Kristen's Instagram on social media and her profile on social media. And I was like, she seems so cool. I want to get to know her. And I reached out to her, and she's the most busy woman on the planet. I didn't know that at the time because all I saw was just her like a few posts on social media. And she responded and she was like, I'm sorry, like I am, too busy to get together or something, but thank you for reaching out. And that was it. It didn't like crush my world. It was okay. Life moved on. But then as I continued to like sow and plant those seeds of like friendship and try to reach out to her and help with things, I would say that we have a great friendship right now. And it all came from continually putting myself out there and offering, trying to bring value to other people as well. And so if you want a mentor, I think it's really important to not just go with like the palms open approach. Like, what can you give me? Like, give me education, give me these things, give me your connections, all those things. But try to bring value to these people as well. Step up, serve, help, volunteer, all of those things, and you will find opportunity after opportunity that will help you get to where you want to be.
And you're such a great example of supporting. You've been such a supporter of the Period Project and the teen centers. And so she really does practice what she preaches.
Oh, thank you. Any other questions? That was a great question, Rex. Thanks for asking it.
I have one.
Yes.
I was wondering where you source your ideas from, especially with marketing. I feel like you guys in Thread Wallets, your like ads hit so well, like they connect really well. And I was just wondering, like, where do you guys get your concepts from, and like where do those ideas?
That's
what are
awesome.
they inspired by?
That's such a good question. So we have a killer marketing and creative team. Like, they're absolutely insane. And another blessing about living here in Utah is that you guys are surrounded by so many incredible college campuses. You've got Utah State University, you've got University of Utah, you've got Utah Valley University, you've got BYU, so many places where you can connect with people to like teach you things. And we have reached out to those universities, and a lot of our employees have come from those places. And we really try to push our team to constantly be creating. So we have art days together. We have a book club together that we read a book every quarter, or we watch a master class together every quarter. We go, like a few years ago, we did a project where we gave each of our team members, I think it was like $75 on the marketing team, and they could go buy something from any company. And then every week we tracked our experience with that other company. So like from their emails to their marketing campaigns on Instagram to their customer service, all of those things. And we'd sit and we'd talk about it. Okay, what stood out about that content for you? All of those things. And then we're constantly putting ourselves, we try to fit into the demographic of like surf, skate, snow. And so we're constantly trying to put ourselves in those environments as well, because they're inspiring to be in, whether you're at the beach or you're snowboarding or you're skateboarding, you're out on a run or you're at the pool with your friends. all of those opportunities can be opportunities to fuel your creativity as well. So that's something that we try to do, and something I think you guys can do in your everyday lives as well. Be reading, be watching YouTube videos, like continually be pushing yourselves to create. Even if you don't find yourself to be a creative person, just putting pen to paper sometimes and just starting to doodle can be so beneficial for you. So we're always pushing our team to do things like that and learn from others in the industry, and seek for those mentorship opportunities as well. That has been a big key in developing out the creative vision of our brand.
Wow, that was such a great response. I'm like, now I want to go and do something creative to just get juices flowing for my life alone.
Yeah,
Be
it's so fun.
inspired too. We have 1 minute left. Does anyone have a quick last question? And then I will announce our 5 winners of the giveaway. So excited about this. Any last questions? Yeah, Rachel.
I'm just wondering, if we're wanting to start a business, what are the first steps we should take?
So the first steps I would take is to start getting your idea out there. I think a lot of people feel like if they have an idea, they don't want anyone to steal it. So they kind of just like sit on it and like maybe write it in a journal, but they never talk about it. Start talking about it, because just like my life transition from different, like, oh, I want to be a psychologist, I want to be a special education teacher, I want to do law school. Ideas in business always change. If I were to give you the whole spiel about our business, you'd hear the story of how at first Thread Wallets was going to be soccer socks, but it pivoted and it changed. And so the best thing you can do is start talking about it and getting feedback. Would you use this? Would you buy this? Would this help you? Start getting that feedback, because the last thing you want to do is sit on an idea and then see someone else do it and go, oh, dang it, I had that. Like, I could have done that. Or have the idea, don't talk to anyone about it, develop it out, and then have nobody interested in your product. So just start talking about it, research the demographic that you want to be a part of, research the other competitors, people like that, see what other people are doing, and just get started.
Awesome. Wow, this has been an amazing, information-packed, inspiring half an hour. We're so grateful that you joined us and shared your wisdom with us. And I feel like there's a lot of takeaways, but adaptability and just seeing your vision for what your product could be and seeing where it started in a living room was amazing. You really, I think as a leader and as a business owner, you have to keep your vision. As a leader, you're going to have days where you're in your room, where you're at your house, where you're schlepping from place to place, getting your idea out, and you have to keep that vision and that idea alive. So grateful for your input and everything that you've shared tonight.